just the landscape and the setting itself was really beautiful. Just some breathtaking scenery there, but also just the imagery of the mermaid in the sand or the mermaid lying in a tub, um, and the, cutting up the herring fish, just some really cool images that just stay in your mind. Um, I thought the acting in this was really well done. I loved the flashes as she's haunted by the sea as a human. She's sort of haunted by this dark magic, this, the sea, like, you can see that she's slowly being driven mad and she's praying and she's trying to get out of her head. So those really helped to get into her head and see her slowly devolve into this little sort of madness that she has. So that there was some also great foreshadowing with those flashes that we see. And the ending was unexpected.
Wonderful job doing a period piece. I mean, the look of this, the costumes, the location, everything was so on point. I liked that. I also thought that it was acted really well. Now, granted, I didn't know what the language was. Was it Celtic? That was as close as I could come to what it might be. But I thought that this was amazing. The underwater cinematography, bravo, because that was just incredibly beautiful. I loved that. The story of this, the premise and everything was great. The graphics, the special effects that they did with like the tail was unbelievably cool.
I thought this was really fascinating. I liked the kind of world that they were in. I thought it was really interesting and really intriguing, and it was set in like a beautiful, beautiful location, which I think kind of helps, especially when it's not set in a city and you are dealing with like magic and witchcraft and all these kind of different aspects. I like that when they kind of take you out of the reality that you see in a day-to-day basis, they set it in somewhere that's woodsy and magical and seaside and cliffs, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And then I just thought it was so interesting because you had so many different parts and so many different levels, and clearly she's an outcast to start off with anyway. But then you have this like added level of like him kind of calling to her and drawing her out, and then does she truly want to be with him, or is it just something that she's been compelled to do? Is he truly her brother, or is it just this kind of spell that he's weaving? Like, there's so many different aspects that are really fun to kind of look at and try and sort through. So many different things going on in this film, but I think that's what really makes it interesting and really clicks you in and really kind of drags you to the edge of your seat, is like you as the audience member have to try and figure it out yourself, or decide for yourself what you think all of the kind of minutia is. And I really love that. I thought it was great.
I enjoyed the mystery and the old times vibe, or the small town, small village. They chose the perfect location, and the setting and the costume design is just amazing. I love those flashbacks or premonitions underwater. They are very poetic and quite engaging. That makeup and special effects for the mermaid creature, just super high quality. I loved it. It is tragic and special, and the myth behind it.
It has a flow to it with the images and settings that definitely feels like watching a fantasy film unfold in a really good way. There's something that sparks the imagination and the possibilities, and I think it contrasts really well with the physical realities, the way the editing has been done. Overall, it presents a really interesting world that makes the viewer curious to dive in further.